After creating a simple hand-to-prop constraint, we'll create another constraint system for one hand. Only this time, our object will be leading the hand and not the other way around as it was here. All right, let's hide the sword and unhide the cane. Here in the second frame, I have another pose already created. Here, the character is supposed to be walking with the cane in one of his hands. Let's turn back on the mesh selectability option so that we can work with the mesh of the cane for now, and let's repeat the same thing. First, I want my cane to have a control, which we could animate instead of the mesh. So let's go to Create, NURBS Primitives, Circle. Select the cane, then Shift-select the circle. Go to Constraint, Parent, and turn off the Maintain Offset option. Hit Add. Now the circle has snapped to where the pivot point of the cane was. After that, we can remove the target because we don't want to have any constraints on our control. We actually want to first select the circle, then the cane. And this time, instead of creating the parent-child hierarchy in the outliner, we can try another way of creating the same thing and use the parent constraint. Let's go to the Parent menu box and hit Apply. Now our cane mesh is constrained to the circle, so where the NURB circle goes, the cane follows. You see? And I actually prefer this method of setting up the system, because when we select the control, you can see that even though the mesh doesn't get selected, it acts as if it would. And so that way we don't get distracted by the object itself. Now we can compare how it was with the sword. You've probably noticed here when we select the circle, the object mesh would get selected as well and would turn green, which for me is a little bit distracting. So this way, I think we can work more easily. Next, just like before, we need to position our object in the hand. In this pose, as you can see, I've set my right arm to have an IK mode, which is important when creating this type of constraint system. You should select this control and set the IK-FK switch channel to the value of 1. Now let's select the hand control. Then Shift-select the cane control, go to Constraint, Parent, keep the Maintain Offset turned off so that our cane would snap to the center of our hand. OK, now we can remove the target and reposition the cane. Just select the NURB circle and rotate it around. Let's move the cane down. We can actually just set all the rotation channels to 0 and then use the translations to position the cane into the hand. Let's make sure that our cane is placed on the ground, as it is in my scene. Now, the other step. In this example, the cane will be driving the hand and not the other way around. And because we want our cane to stay on the ground, we need to have its pivot point down at the bottom of our cane. Let's select the cane, hit D, and move it down. Perhaps it would have been easier if we had done this at the very beginning, but it doesn't matter. It's still not too late to do it. OK, we have the control set for our cane, and it moves from the bottom, which is what we wanted. We can move on. Let's create another NURB circle, and in order for us not to get lost between these controls, let's rename them. First, let's select the cane control and name it cane_main. And this NURB circle, hand_offset control. Just like in the previous example, we've made an offset for the object. The cane will be driving the arm, so we need to create an offset control for the hand in order for it not to be glued to the object. Let's first select the hand control, then Shift-select the circle, Constraint, Parent. We need to snap the circle to the center of the hand, so we need to turn off the Maintain Offset option, hit Apply. Now remove the target because we don't want to keep that constraint, just the position of the circle. Here we can see that this control was positioned right in the center of our wrist. And now we need to create an opposite constraint just like before. We need our hand to follow the offset control that we've made. So first select the circle, then Shift-select the hand control, go to Constraint, Parent. Now we can maintain the offset, hit Apply, and close the menu. Now when we select the hand offset control, our arm moves with it. The final thing that we need to do is make our hand follow the cane. We can do that by going to the outliner, select the hand offset control, and middle mouse drag it underneath the cane main. That way, where the cane goes, the arm follows. But we also still have the option to offset the hand position separately. That was the second method of creating a constraint system. In the next lesson, we'll have our final third constraint system, which will be the most difficult one because it will include both hands and the object will be driving both. See you there.